About how traditionally, and even in this new age, traditional media is the source that even those working on social media go towards. Now, in this information overload, how are journalists vetting their information and making sure that it is accurate?
Well, I think one thing that we need to look at is that how journalism has come to rely on the digital network for information. And it now has become the primary source of information for most journalists. And the issue here is that even though gaining information on the digital networks is easy and quicker, verification becomes a bit of an issue because anybody, anywhere, can pretend to be somebody else there and put out information. So I think one of the key issues to look at right now is whether journalists who are gaining information from the digital network have the know-how and the awareness to detect fake news and absolute lies before they use them in their reportage.
Right.
And in most cases, most journalists don't have that.
Right. And Mr. Perera, you're saying that journalists themselves are turning to social media. That creates a problem there. It's making the problem very circular. Journalists are getting their information from social media. Social media people are getting their information from journalists. Are you saying here that journalists have stopped going and investigating into the field, actually extracting information from the root and bringing it out to the public?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that not that they have completely stopped doing that. There were a lot of journalists who were doing that, who were going to the source, who were trying to get information. The traditional boots on the ground type of journalism and knocking on doors, talking to sources. But what we see is a trend, an over-reliance by journalists to gain information from digital networks without verification and without looking into the authenticity. Now, that is where the problem lies. Journalists will go and get the information, do the hard work, and their stories will appear. But also journalists who do not do that kind of hard work, who just skim information from the internet or other networks and just put it out there. So both these kind of information.
And Mr. Perera, sorry to interrupt here, but I do want to ask, where does the editorial policy come into play? Because that's the fallback here, that if journalists aren't vetting information properly, there will be a mechanism to check them and put them in place and make sure that they verify their information. Would you say that that's also diminishing the power of editorial policy?
Yeah, I think we're going back to the issue of whether we can invest enough resources in terms of financial, human, and technological to make sure that journalism is up to the quality that you and I are discussing. And unfortunately, the answer right now appears to be no, we can't. So if we can't have enough hands at managerial level or gatekeeper level who can look at the information that is being brought by the journalist or brought by the reporters and check, okay, whether it's true, whether it's authenticated, there is a problem there. And also whether you can, if you don't have the resources to establish checks and balances, again, you have a problem. So we go back to this issue of scale. We need to put information out, but we do not have the resources, financial, human, as well as technological, to make sure those resources are authenticated and verified. And on top of that, we are also confronted with this huge opening up of space where information and lies and fake news and everything is just moving back and forth in the same manner and in the same sphere. So it's kind of like a devil's choice that we have here.
Right. And we were talking earlier about the business model at play here, and and how even traditional media forms, of course, rely on advertisements. So does social media. Do you think there needs to be an overhaul of this business model in order to produce information that is more reliable?
Well, I think much more than an overhaul, I think we need to look at a business model where you can make money out of giving quality journalism and keep doing that for an extended period. We've seen various projects come up globally, nationally, and regionally, and they survive for a fair bit of time, and then again they face financial issues. So I think right now, in this age of engagement and age of engagement with everything that is at an extreme, we need to figure out how do we provide valid journalistic works and then make sure that people are willing to pay money for the production of such work. If you look at the digital sphere, the money that is being earned is actually not earned by the producer. The content producers are not earning the money. The big money is actually being earned by the platforms that are putting out all these things that have been produced, be it Facebook, be it YouTube, be it Google. It takes other people to produce and then puts it out to the network. So I think the model here is that how do we break out of that? And how do we start making money out of quality works of journalism?